Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Rajni Chaudhary and in this particular video we will be studying about the components of overhead line. Overhead lines are used for transmitting the power over a long distance from one end to another end. For this purpose, the overhead lines are supported on the mechanical structure so that the transmission can be done over a long distance. These mechanical structures are known as the transmission towers. Along with the transmission towers, there are various other components which are attached to the transmission tower or the overhead line, we can say, which are responsible for transmitting the required power over a long distance without any excessive voltage drop or overheating losses. So in this video, we will be discussing those components of overhead line. First, let's figure out the components of the overhead lines. This is the tower which is carrying the conductor. Conductors are basically our overhead lines which are used for transmitting the power. Insulators, as you can see, these are the insulators. The dumbbell shaped devices are called dampers. There is a earth wire which runs through the peak of the tower. It is also sometimes referred as ground wire. These are cross arms. They are generally used for the conductors or for installing the insulators through which the conductors can run. Line support. These are basically the poles or the towers which are used for carrying the conductor forward so that the power can be transmitted over a long distance. The function of line support is not only to support the conductor but also to situate them well above the ground. The height and the mechanical strength of these towers depend upon the voltage that they are carrying, also the place where they are being placed or installed. Line support are of various types such as wood, steel, iron, RCC, etc. The main requirement of line support are high mechanical strength. They should possess high mechanical strength. They should be light in weight, cheaper in cost. They should have low maintenance cost. They should possess long life. They must have good looking structure and easy accessibility. These are generally the main requirements of line support. The choice of line support for a particular situation depends upon the line span, cross-sectional area, line voltage, cost and local conditions. As already told, the line support can be of various types. Like we can see wooden pole, RCC pole, steel pole, lattice steel pole. These all are determined according to the height which is needed for the conductor or the voltage which is to be carried by the conductor. Single circuit transmission tower. For identifying the single circuit transmission tower, you need to carefully look at the transmission towers which are supplying the power. Here in the first figure, as you can see, this transmission tower is having 3 clamps, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 clamps, each one of them is carrying a conductor wire, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 conductor wires are actually the 3 phase of the transmission line. On the top or the peak of the transmission tower, you will be able to see the earth wire. Similarly, if you look at the second figure, the only difference in this second figure from the first figure is that instead of single wire, here multiple wires are making a single phase. Parallel lines are being used for making a single phase. Here multiple parallel wires are being used or considered as a single phase. This is your phase 1, this is the phase 2, and this is the phase 3, or you can say ABC phase. But instead of a single wire, multiple parallel wires are being considered as a single phase here. So the three phases are being supplied, 1, 2 and 3, or you can say ABC phases are being supplied with the help of single circuit transmission tower. Also, you will be able to see the earth wire which would be running. Moving on to the double circuit transmission tower. Here, if we look at the first figure, this transmission tower is having 6 clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here the 3 phases will be run from these 6 connections of clamp. Phase A, phase B and phase C. Similarly, from this phase A, phase B and phase C. So you are now able to distinguish the single circuit and double circuit line. Here the 3 phases are being run twice or double in a manner from the 6 clamps of the transmission tower. Similarly, if we look at the second figure, the only difference is that here the single wire was representing a single phase, a complete phase, but here the multiple wires, or you can say double parallel lines, are making a phase. This is phase A, phase B or phase C, you can say. Similarly, this is phase A, phase B and phase C. Also, the earth wire you can see in the figure, these are the 2 earth wires. Hope you have understood the difference between the double circuit and the single circuit transmission line. Now, if you look at the transmission tower, you will be able to distinguish. In the same way, the multi-circuit transmission towers will be having the multi-phase supply provision from the transmission tower. Moving on to the conductors. Conductors are actually the backbones of overhead transmission line. Therefore, the conductors used in the overhead transmission line should be reliable enough and flexible enough, since through them the power is actually being transmitted from one end to another. You must have seen copper being used as a conductor, but in the transmission line, not only copper is used as a conductor, we can use aluminium, galvanized steel. Also, the copper here chosen for the transmission line is hard drawn copper. Now, what type of conductor will be preferred for a transmission will depend upon its large current carrying capacity as well as the span which will be keeping between the 2 transmission towers. Now, there are some characteristics of conducting material which should be possessed by the conductor. Like, it should have high electric conductivity, it should possess high tensile strength so that it can withstand the mechanical stresses, it should have low specific gravity so that low weight, because these are being installed on the transmission tower. The transmission tower should be capable enough of handling the weight of the conductors. Low cost, in order that they can be used for long distance. Easy availability, they should not be brittle. So all these characteristics must be followed or must be possessed by the conducting material. You must have studied the aluminium conductor steel reinforced material being used for making the conductors. In that, zebra, moose type, dog type conductors are being used for different voltages of the transmission. Insulators. Insulators are equally important as they protect the transmission towers from being electrified, so that whenever a workman goes to the tower for some maintenance work, he or she don't get a shock. The 5 type of insulators which are generally used in the transmission line as overhead insulators are pin insulator, suspension insulator, strain insulator, stay insulator, and shackle type insulator. Generally, the first 3 type of insulators are preferred for medium and high voltage system, whereas the stay insulator and shackle insulator are generally preferred for low voltage application. The pictures here represent the 5 type of insulator. This is a pin type insulator. This is a suspension type insulator, strain insulator, stay insulator, and shackle type insulator. The insulator materials can be made up of glass, porcelain, ceramic, depending upon the voltage application for which they are being preferred. Moving on to the guy wire, you must have seen that the transmission tower or the poles are having a slight angle wire. This is actually the guy wire. These are fastened to the pole at the termination or an angle to resist the lateral forces which are being handled by the transmission pole or tower. This type of insulator used in guy wire is actually the stay type insulator. The connections which are made is generally referred as guy wrap. This is the guy wrap. Moving on to the arcing horns, or simply arc horns. Arcing horns are actually the projected conductors which are used to protect the insulators in overhead transmission line. Here, as you can see in the figure, these are connected to the insulator strings. Now, why they are used? They are used to protect, as said, to protect the insulators from damage during a flashover condition. Thus, they are necessary for protecting the insulators from getting damaged during a flashover situation. Moving on to the dampers. Dampers are actually the dumbbell shaped devices. You must have seen them on various transmission towers. These are actually the weights which are put on the transmission towers. Now, why they are being used? Generally, an overhead line experiences vibrations in its vertical plane which add to its displacement, and it starts swinging due to the presence of wind. This vibration is harmless, or this swing is harmless until there is a sufficient clearance between the two conductors. But we know that if we are going to increase the clearance between the conductor, this will add to our cost. So instead of increasing the clearance, please note a sufficient clearance is still maintained, but to avoid the swinging motion of the conductors, a weight which is actually the dampers are put on the transmission tower so that we can restrict the swinging motion of the conductor. So basically, the dumbbell shaped devices are actually the weights which are put on the transmission towers, transmission lines. Aerial marker balls. Now, what are these and what are they used for? Aerial marker balls are basically the marker balls which are used in the power line. These are used for the safety purpose. Now, it is possible that sometimes the transmission wires are not visible to a low flying helicopter, aircraft, or plane from a distance. Thus, to make them visible, to make the power lines visible during the daytime or the night time, these balls are used. Just like we use markers to highlight a point, in the same way these marker balls highlight the transmission line's presence so that any kind of accident is being avoided. Corona rings. A corona ring, as you can see in the figure, these are the corona rings, is a circular conductive material usually made up of metal which is attached to the terminal of the high voltage equipment. The function of the corona ring is to distribute the electric field gradient and lower its maximum value below the corona threshold, and thus it prevents the corona discharge. Here in the figure, second figure, you are able to see that how the electric field gradient is fully distributed over this ring and a corona discharge is being prevented here. Spacers. Just like dampers, spacers are used to maintain or establish a particular distance between the two conductors. Not only the two conductors but many more other conductors too. These are generally preferred in a bundle line conductor so that a particular distance is maintained between the all conductors. Also, with the help of spacers, we can prevent the knocking together of the conductors and we can avoid any damage done when the two conductors come in contact with each other. They are also used if any vibration occurs in the conductors. So with the help of spacers, we can restrict them to a particular distance to be maintained by the conductor. Bundle conductors. Bundle conductors reduces the reactance of the electrical transmission line. Here in the figure, you see that this is a bundle conductor with 2 subconductors, bundle conductor with 3 subconductors, and the bundle conductor with 4 subconductors. We know that bundle conductors are used to reduce the corona losses, radio interference, surge impedance of the transmission line, and the voltage gradient of the transmission line. As by using bundle conductor, the geometric mean radius, or simply we say GMR, of the conductor increases, and thus with the help of these we are able to reduce the corona losses in the transmission line. References. Following are some of the references from where the content of the slide has been prepared. With this, we end here only. In this video, we have described the components of overhead transmission line. Also, the purpose of using them are also discussed here. For more videos, stay connected and thank you.